Very good morning to you on this beautiful day. Here we are at Friday the 13th. I love Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th is a very lucky day for me. And, some people think that it's a auspicious day, a day that is brings bad luck, but I actually don't believe that. I believe that Friday the 13th brings very good luck. And frankly, it brings neither good luck or bad luck. It's only what you think it can bring to you. However, the reason why Friday the 13th is so exciting for me is that on Friday, March the 13th, which was in 1992, I found out on that day that I was pregnant. And I was absolutely delighted. I was 33 years of age, and it was at a point where I was very happy and very ready to have a baby. And so, hey, Pamela loves it as well. And so I was just thrilled. I remember that day, Friday the 13th in March 1992. I remember it so well because I had this total complete head to toe goosebump experience. And good morning to you, Anna, and hi, Christina. And so 9 months later, or 8 months later, I guess it was, my son Michelle was born on Friday, November the 13th. And so since you're here early, hey, good morning, Kevin. I want to share something else with you that's kind of interesting about my son and him being, and of course, me finding out I was pregnant on Friday the 13th, and of course, him being born on Friday the 13th. When I was pregnant, my husband had asked me if we could call the baby after his brother, and his brother's name was Michelle. And we didn't know if we were having a boy or a girl. And that's great, Kevin. I'm happy to hear that Nat is punishing you in the gym today. Anyways, we didn't know if we were having a boy or a girl, and I said yes, of course, we'll call our baby after your brother. And interestingly enough, the doctor thought the due date was October sometime. Ended up that Michelle was born on Friday, November 13th. And interestingly enough, that's the day that Charlie's brother was born. Michelle was born on November 13th as well. So kind of interesting. Okay, we're not here to talk about my happiness and joy with Friday the 13th. We're here to give you some guidance on manifesting. That's the purpose of our calls, whether we're doing some training, whether I'm answering questions or whatever it is. I'm here to serve you for 30 minutes twice a week, addressing any questions that you may have as it relates to manifesting. So if you have a question, you can type them in now. I do have a couple questions that were submitted in advance, and I'm going to go to those first. And I see there's a question here from Patricia. She says, I'm having a fight with money paradigms today. Any tips to kick them into touch? Yes. First of all, wrap your arms around them and give them some love. They're there to reveal something to you, and so we can appreciate it. And the reason why I say that is the word fight doesn't feel good, right? And you want to do everything that you can to stay in feel good emotions. And that's even when you're noticing that you're having an experience with a paradigm, whether it's good nor bad, just thinking makes it so. So when we realize that the money paradigm is there, just say, welcome. All right. I'm grateful that you are revealing to me what was there or what had been created in the past. So I'm going to give you some love and send you on your way because I'm creating a brand new money paradigm. So what that does for you is it causes you to move from a not so enjoyable emotional experience over to one that feels good. And it feels good by wrapping your arms around and giving some love and sending it on its way. And then right on the heels of that, what you want to be doing is you want to be thinking about what belief would be serving me and my financial situation. So if you notice in the experience that the money paradigm is showing up, and it usually reveals itself in certain ways, different ways, and it's different for everyone. So if it's something like there's not enough, if that's what the paradigm is, then what you do is you replace it with a more positive paradigm, a paradigm that is absolutely going to be more supportive in the outcomes that you desire. So what would be a more positive and supportive paradigm for there isn't enough? Well, that there's an abundant supply and that you are connected to it. So an affirmation that you've probably heard me share before is an affirmation that goes like this: I always have an abundance of money to do whatever it is I want to do. I always have an abundance of money to do whatever it is I want to do. If I see something that I desire, I buy it. No matter what the price, I can afford to buy anything that I desire. You see what I'm doing here? So you're just recognizing that there's a money paradigm there that's non-supportive, and then you replace it with a supportive one. And you don't do this just one time. You do this over and over and over again. It's a repetitive process, right? You want to get into becoming very, very aware of what your paradigms are. So I love that you are recognizing that you have the paradigms. You want to become very aware of what your paradigms are, because if they're not supportive of the outcomes that you desire, then you absolutely want to change them. And the best way to change them is through a Power Life script. And that's what I've been doing since the 90s, just impressing the positive ideas, the belief systems that are going to support my outcomes over and over again in my mind until it becomes a part of what I know to be true. I had that moment this morning concerning bills, and I immediately shifted that paradigm and tried to speak lack. Yay, the purpose pusher. Great. I'm glad that you recognize that. And thank you, Patricia, for asking the question. And I love that you're asking the question, because the question that you're asking is one that I am absolutely certain that everyone who's on the call here can relate to. All right. All right, that's what you want to be aware of. And good morning, Jane. Good to see you here as well. I watched a little bit of your video this morning. I had to get on a call, so I started watching it and then had to get on. It looked good. I love the opening. I loved how you talked about Virgin. That was funny. All right, great. Yes, so Power Life script. Okay, so let me go to the questions that have been submitted in advance. And anyone that's on the call now, if you have a question or would love some feedback, type it in either the Instagram account or in the Facebook Live, all right? Either one, and I'm gonna make sure that we address your questions. And Patricia, great that you have the Power Life Script program. It is great, I absolutely agree, and it absolutely changes lives. Okay, so let's go on over to where the questions are. Here we are. Okay, so the question is asked by someone named, or the Instagram message, which is Serenity Sparks Joy. Okay, I just saw a question here that just, what is the minimum a day I should listen to for your Power Life script? Someone is just asking that question. So before I go to Serenity Sparks Joy, I want to come back to the Instagram question that was just asked. What's the minimum amount of time? Once minimum, I would listen to it over and over and over again. Yesterday, I had finished the majority of my Christmas shopping and had a lot of wrapping to do. And I actually wrapped for around 3 hours. And I listened to my Power Life script while I was wrapping. And I also listened to it in the morning because I was out running errands, and I was listening to it whenever I'm in my car, I'm listening to it. So I suspect I listened to my Power Life script yesterday a minimum of 10 times. And my Power Life script right now is just over 30 minutes. And I listened to it 10 times. So 300 minutes. I listened to my Power Life script yesterday. So that's a lot. It's a lot, I know. But you'd be amazed how you can be listening to it while you're doing other things. While you're at the gym, as Kevin and Natalie are right now. You can listen to it when you're in your car, if you connect it to your Bluetooth. And even if it's not connected to your Bluetooth, if it's on your phone and you have a speaker, listen to it that way as well. You can listen to it while you're having your lunch. You can listen to it while you're having your dinner, while you're having your breakfast. You can listen to it while you're out walking the dog. You can listen. Yes, repetition is priceless. You're absolutely right. Listen to it while you're going to sleep at night. Just listen to it over and over again. The more you do, the better it's going to go for you. Okay. Celine, thank you very much for putting in the free book link in here as well. So Celine has put in the free book link. There is a Power Life script book. And it looks like this. You can actually get a physical copy of this book on Amazon.com. It's a little more expensive because it's color. It's full color inside. So that's why it's a little more expensive. But a fabulous book. You can get this. And as a matter of fact, you might want to get a copy for any of your relatives if you're still doing some holiday shopping, and get a copy on Amazon. It's called Power Life Script by Peggy McColl. You can check it out on Amazon, or you can download a free book on the link that Celine has kindly put on the Instagram, and I know she'll put it over on the Facebook page too. All right, so here's the question that Serenity Sparks Joy has asked. I have 2 amazing C-type business goals. How do I know which one to concentrate on first? All right, great question. And it's not that, first of all, let me just say that it's not that if you have a C-type goal that you're not you're not focusing on additional goals. As a matter of fact, that's what a Power Life script is. It's really focusing on multiple goals at one time, including your C-type goal. However, I love that you're asking this question. You have two C-type business goals. How do I know which one to concentrate on first? And the answer is whichever C-type goal excites you the most. So you emotionally just ask yourself, which one am I more connected to? Which goal inspires me more than the other? So if you have to choose, which one would you choose? That's the one you choose. Now, sometimes what you can do is you can have a C-type goal in your business that actually will have you accomplishing that other C-type goal. All right, let's give an example of that. Let's say your goal is to generate a certain number of millions in revenue for your business. And your other C-type business goal is to be a New York Times bestselling author. And this is very common. I mean, I work with a lot of people that are either building an online business or they're working on becoming a successful author, or both of those things, which is very, very common as well. So what could you say in your goal statement? You could say, I am so happy and so grateful that I am a New York Times bestselling author, easily generating, and whatever that number is, millions of dollars. So sometimes you can blend them to be one statement. They don't contradict each other. They actually are supportive of each other. And there's nothing wrong with doing that, okay? So you may want to blend your goals together. All right, let me just pop back over to Facebook here for a moment and make sure that all is good here. Any recommendation for a great day timer? Anna's asking that question. I use electronic day timers, Anna, and I have, there was one that I used, like a physical one that I used many, many years ago. It was called the Performance Planner. And the Performance Planner, it's a physical book. I actually have one here. And it was created, I don't even know if they're available anymore. I used to use them back in the 80s. And it was a product that was created by Zig Ziglar. And I loved it because it had your goals in there, it had your accomplishments, it had belief systems, it had a lot of other stuff that was inside the goal planner. But I typically use my computer as my day timer or my scheduler, and everything is pretty much on my computer. So that's what I do. And if you can find the Performance Planner, then definitely look for it. It's a phenomenal product. All right, good morning, Danielle. Good to see you here. All right, the next question that I have here is Christina. She says, just want to share something. I have a Power Life script about someone special. Yesterday, I changed it because it was not really good. I started to listen to it this morning, and after 15 minutes still listening to it, he called me. Isn't that amazing? I have not been in contact with him for 3 weeks. It works magic. I love that, Christina. And that's the fun thing. I had a wonderful conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and we're talking about how the most important thing you need to know is set your goals and then connect to the feeling of having them already accomplished. All right. This is the part of the process of manifesting. And it's something that a lot of people just don't really understand. And they think, oh, it's got to be more complicated than that, but it's not. And then you have to let go of the how. I see this often, that people sit down and they attempt to try and figure out the way that they're going to get to where they want to go. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. And of course, you're going to be taking action as well. But what you want to understand is let the universe reveal to you the perfect way that you're going to manifest your outcome into physical form. You don't have to know how. You do not have to know how. You know, if I could climb to the tallest mountain in this world and I could just shout out the greatest message that I've ever learned in my life about manifesting, it would be that. You do not have to know how, but you absolutely must decide what it is that you want. You must decide what it is that you want. And then feel like you've already accomplished it, and feel it genuinely in your heart, and knowing that the moment you get frustrated, the moment you get angry, the moment you get disillusioned, the moment you feel lack of faith, you're out of alignment, right? You are not manifesting. It is not working in that moment. So you have to step into the experience of feeling as if it's here right now, and feel it with joy, and feel it in your heart, and feel it with gratitude, and give thanks for it. Just, you know, thank you. Look up and give thanks for it, feeling like and knowing that it's already here right now. All right, that's what you want to do, and that's how you manifest. How is it going to get there? Who knows how it's going to get there? But I love, Christina, that you shared that with us. That was very, very helpful. helpful. And I'm certain a lot of people just don't even bother. Most people just don't even bother doing the work. And I was thinking about that a lot this week. Why is it that more people aren't manifesting their ideal dream lives? And I think it's because they're not willing to do the work. And you know what's fun about all of this is it's not difficult work. And that's why I do what I do, because I want to make it easy for you. I want to make it as easy as possible for you. And this couldn't be any easier than it has ever been, is to just create your Power Life script, record it, and listen to it every single day. So sure, there's work involved in the beginning. And yeah, you may even change it. It's like, we heard earlier from Christina that she made a change, right? And if you're listening to your Power Life script and you're finding that you're either not resonating with it, or you're finding that something's just not clicking with you, change it. Change the words. I'm constantly changing mine. I changed it the other day. I changed it last week. I'm always studying. I'm always learning new, and I'm learning new information, new material. And every day I'm studying this stuff, these materials, and I'll find something that's just a little distinction. And it's like a little distinction can make a big, big difference. And good morning, Natalie. Good to see you on here as well. Hi, do you give us the Power Life script as per our requirements? Yeah, I give you lots of samples. There's like, I don't know how many audio samples and written samples in the Power Life script program. I mean, there's so much content in there. It's off the charts amazing. I could have easily charged 100 times the price that I've charged for that program. So very inexpensive, jam-packed, loaded with great stuff, and dive in there and start using it today. Okay, Pamela's asking the question. Thank you, Peggy. I love the Power Life script. I am having problems with starting my business. I cannot get the power run into the building. It's delay after delay. What can I do to get my business in high gear and power into the building? I'm struggling now. All right, great. Okay, so Pamela, it must be a physical business, right? Is this something that you could run from another location in the meantime, or is it something that you can operate from your home in the beginning? Like, quite often when we're in an experience of things not happening the way we want, and that's not uncommon, by the way, it's very, very common. Just, it's not that you have to accept it. It is what it is. However, see what you can do to speed up the process. And if not, well, there's, divine timing as well. And maybe there's a reason, and maybe it's for something better, there's a good reason for this. So look at the good in it. There always is something good. And I'm sure you'll find it when you look for it. And if you can, find another location as an interim, or start doing some other things in that doesn't have to be done in a physical location. Sonova, I noticed that since I recorded my Power Life script that I sleep better when I listen to it at night. I missed last night and slept terribly. Interesting. Very interesting. I love it. Kevin says the more you listen, the more benefit you get. Absolutely true. Thank you, Kevin, for confirming that. Denise says, I understand how to get emotionally involved when wanting a new car, seeing yourself driving it, but I'm having a hard time coming up with a way to visualize an online business. Can you give me some examples? Sure. So Denise, with that online business, what would you see? You'd see sales reports come in. I actually have, mine are, where are they? Oh, they're in the other room. So I actually have created online sales reports that I see, and it's just a mock-up, right? It's something that we created as a visionary thing, right? A visual. So what do you see? You see sales reports, you'll see your bank account. You have a business bank account, you'll see your bank account being filled. So create those as visuals, and that's what you can focus on. See in your mind's eye receiving emails from clients who love you, love your material, love your products, love your content. See that in your mind's eye as well. So those are the things that I would suggest. Good morning, Colin. Always good to see you here. All right. No, I have machines to work in the building. Okay, I will do that. All right. Thank you, Pamela. All right, great. Now I have another question that was submitted in advance, and I'm going to go to that one next. It's a question from Grain Nem McNulty. Not sure who that is, but anyways, here's the question. Hi, Peggy. I'm a part of your Power Life Script program, and I love it. I'm 20 years old and still in university at the moment. I was wondering, should my goals be only about what I can achieve right now, such as my degree, relationships, etc., or should I include in my Power Life Script about my dream job, home, income? Thanks for your help, and I love your morning money classes. All right, that is a great question, and here's my answer. It can be whatever it is you want. So you could create a Power Life script now that talks about you graduating with honors, if that's something that you would love to do. See yourself in your beautiful home as well. So I would think, like, Include, you're getting a degree, right? Or you're studying to achieve a degree. So I would absolutely include the degree. However, I've noticed that in your question that you mentioned a home, job, and income. I would absolutely include that too. I would include that as well, that you're happily earning an income doing work that you absolutely love. You're in your dream job. You graduated with honors. If that's something that you have, you purchased a home, you love your home, you're living in your home, you're sharing your home. And so I would absolutely suggest that that's what you do for your Power Life script. All right, great. There's a question here. I'm going to the Masters Manifesting in February. Yay! And for those of you that aren't aware, you can go to mastersmanifesting.com. It's an event that I'm doing with Phil Goldfine. It's a Saturday afternoon on February the 1st and all day Sunday, February 2nd at the Lido Beach Resort in Sarasota. And Natalie says, when I went on to book ticket site to find tickets, I found flights from Barbados to Tampa. Is that too far? No, I'm actually flying into Tampa as well. I recommend Tampa as an airport. You can either go to the Tampa airport or you can go to Sarasota. Either one is fine. Tampa's about an hour away. Sarasota is closer, but definitely you can fly into Tampa. All right, great. Thank you, Celine, for putting the link there. All right. Have I missed any questions? I just want to check. Celine, did I miss any questions yet? I think I've answered all the questions that have been submitted in advance. All right, let me just see. What is that? I don't know what that is. Okay. All right. So we've got about 10 minutes remaining here. I just want to talk about some content that I've been reading in, unless you have more questions, you can certainly ask me right now. You're very welcome, Natalie. And thank you, Celine, for answering as well. So I want to talk about, thank you, Celine. I want to talk about The Science of Getting Rich. This is a book that I've been studying. Now I've read this book. I bought this book back in the 80s when Bob Proctor had recommended it way back when. It's a book that I've been studying for years. And, oh, you're very welcome, Grain. I'm happy that you're here and good for you. I love that you're 20 years old and you're doing this work already. Amazing. That's when I started, but I was pretty messed up back then. It took me a little while to really understand it. If I had had the Power Life script back when I was 20, I'm sure it would have made a big difference. Okay, let's talk about The Science of Getting Rich. So back in November, I started this process every morning at 8 a.m. And at 8 a.m., I get on a call with Phil Goldfine and Anders Hansen. They're both very good friends of mine. And we decided that we would study from The Science of Getting Rich. And we started studying the chapter on gratitude. And it was Phil Goldfine's recommendation that we study the chapter on gratitude. And I remember when he recommended it, and I remember thinking to myself, gratitude. I mean, I have my gratitude journal actually right here. I was writing in it this morning, as I do every single day, never miss writing in my gratitude journal. And so I was I was thinking, I'm a very grateful person. I'm constantly thanking people. I'm thanking God. I'm just so grateful. I feel it in my heart. And yet, when we started to study that chapter, it was like a deeper experience of understanding. And then one day, Anders had recommended that we move to a different chapter. We moved to chapter 4 and we started studying chapter 4. And what we're doing in our study practice is that every day when we get on this phone call at 8 a.m., and it's a quick call, it's usually 5-10 minutes max, we'll read a paragraph or 2 paragraphs from this book. We'll discuss it, and then we go into our declarations of the things that we will accomplish, as well as our C-type goal, which we read out loud to each other every single day, Monday through Friday. We don't do it on Saturday or Sunday. And so this week, Anders, Phil's been actually preparing for a meet that he's doing. So Anders and I have been doing a lot of studying, and I'm absolutely blown away with what I've been reading in this chapter. And Anders and I both had the same experience, that it's different when you study a paragraph versus just reading a book or reading a chapter or reading a certain amount just with an intent to go from the beginning of the book to get to the end. Like when you invest months studying as deeply as we are, it makes a big difference. And so the thing that I'm noticing, and this morning we were reading these 2 paragraphs, and I'm going to read them to you, and I want you to really think about it as I'm reading them to you and what they really mean to you as well. So here's the 2 paragraphs that we read today from Science of Getting Rich, and it's chapter 4, okay? Science of Getting Rich, chapter 4. The power can only be acquired by getting a hold of the basic fact which is behind all appearances, that there is one thinking substance from which and by which all things are made. Then we must grasp the truth that every thought held in this substance becomes a form, and that a person can impress thoughts upon it so as to cause them to take form and become visible things. You know, I remember years ago studying these materials and thinking to myself, what? Like, I'd read stuff like that, and it sounds a little bit like Greek to some degree, not so much today as it did back then, but I remember reading and thinking, what the heck is the author saying? Have you ever had that experience? I suspect you might have. And it depends on who you're studying. I mean, there's certain people like Thomas Troward. I mean, oh my goodness. I remember when Bob Proctor had said to me, I want you to study The Spirit of Opulence for 90 days. And it's like, he called me back a couple days later and he said, how are you doing with The Spirit of Opulence? I said, Bob, I don't have a clue what the heck he's saying. Could you help me understand this? And we're going back a couple decades, okay? And so Bob explained it to me. So what I did was I rewrote it in a way that I would understand. And so what I'm saying is that sometimes it takes, you know, more time and more energy to really understand what they're saying. But the point is, and what Wallace D. Wattles is saying, and what I'm really getting from his study and from studying it at such a different level, and I know Anders is having the same experience that I am, is that when Wallace D. Wattles is talking about formless substance, he's talking about, you know, just ideas, right, that are out in the ether. Those are formless substance, right? We can't lasso them in and bring them in. They're things that we can't, they're not tangible. We can't touch them. We can't feel them. They're here. They're in our conscious mind, right? And when we think about appearances, what is he saying? It's what are you looking at? What are you choosing to give your focused attention on? That's appearances. And when he talks about truth, what is he talking about? He's talking about what you believe to be true, right? And that's why the Power Life script process works so well, because if you decide that you're going to live a certain type of life, and it's a dream life, it's an abundantly rich life, it's an incredibly enjoyable life, it's a fulfilled life, it's a life that you are genuinely grateful for, that is your truth. And so when you're believing it, when you're impressing these ideas upon your subconscious mind that you're running this wildly successful business, that you're doing these amazing things in your life, that, and you impress it upon your subconscious mind, but yet the appearance is not there. In other words, you can't touch it. It's not tangible. You can't see it right now, but you're feeling it in your heart. You will manifest it into form. That's what he's talking about. And so I hope that gives you a little bit of a better understanding of what they're talking about. That's why I got into this business, because I found that there was so much stuff out there that was so complicated, and I'd be scratching my head and going, what the heck? What are they talking about? And to me, it's like, this stuff is not complicated. Manifesting is not complicated. It's simple when we understand it. But how do we get to that level of understanding? How do we get to have real positive change in our life? By being committed to the study, by increasing our awareness, by increasing our knowledge, and by applying it. By applying it. You've got to apply it. That's why we're hearing stories. Yeah, Kayla, that's why we're hearing so many stories of people that are manifesting things in a physical form, because they're applying it into their life. That's why Kayla is having this magical wedding next year. That was a vision in her mind. And yet Kayla's partner was not interested in getting married. Kayla's partner was like, you know, not believing of marriage. But now I have goosebumps as I mentioned this. Kayla's manifested a magical, magical wedding. Her date is set. It's about 4 months from now. And she's going to she's manifesting things into her life. The beautiful home that they live out in the country. Celine, who's on the call, shared in a video recently when she was looking for some testimonials for the Power Life script. She was sharing how she manifested her ideal life partner into her life that she's now, you know, in a relationship with. You can manifest anything. You can manifest homes. You can manifest multiple homes. You can manifest vehicles. You can manifest relationships. You can manifest money. You can manifest revenue. You can manifest things for other people, as Colin did for his mom. You can manifest so many things. But you've got to have the understanding, you must apply it, and you must do the work. So I am so grateful to be here to be sharing with you a deeper level of understanding, to help expand your awareness so that you can continuously produce better results. Because that's what life is all about, is about better. I saw something yesterday, actually. I saw something yesterday that said that success is not getting to a point where you have everything. Success is really a journey. Now, on that journey, you'll be manifesting many things that you love. Like when I think about where I am in my life right now and what I've manifested in my life right now, my goals aren't ever going to be done. I'll continue to expand and grow and desire for more, because that's human nature. Your nature is to desire for more. Absolutely. All right, so Jane says the paragraph after that, us also extremely powerful. When we realize this, we lose all doubt and fear, for we know that we can create, and what we want to create, we can get what we want to have and become what we want to be. Absolutely, I love that. Okay, Anna says, I work for someone else in addition to now rolling out my big C goals. Sometimes I feel interrupted by my job when I'm working on my dream, or distracted when I'm working on my dream by other work that needs to be done. How do you suggest I encourage a better mindset for both areas instead of too often feeling this conflict? Great question. I'm so glad that you asked that. So what I would suggest, Anna, is you've got to feel good doing the work you're doing now. Feel good now, because if you're feeling conflict, it's going to impact your C-type goal. You've got to feel good now. Give thanks for it. Give appreciation for it. Recognize that it is a temporary situation, but love it for what it is. Stay focused in your mind on having your C-type goal already being accomplished, but at the same time, loving what you're doing. All right, because you got to live from the new experience, and that means you're going to be feeling very, very grateful. All right, Gloria says, I'm manifesting a brand new publishing company, divinely guided by listening to a dream. The first book releases December 29th, and people are reaching out to get their book published. It's amazing how aligned. I said, yes, the universe and I are partners. Excellent. Awesome. Yeah, Kevin says, yes, I'm here with Natalie. And a year ago, she was just a description on my vision board. I love that. Yeah, Kevin and Natalie have definitely manifested their amazing, amazing dream life as well. Okay, guys, well, we're at the bottom of the hour now. I want to thank you for being here with me. We're going to be back next week doing a couple more of these live events. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful to serve you, grateful to be here. Remember, we are happy to address any questions that you may have. While you're on any of these calls or before, you can submit the questions. You can post them on Instagram. You can post them on Facebook as well. We love being with you. I want to also let you know that our Morning Money class is going to change the name. The content will remain similar, and we're going to call it Morning Manifestation. And so the new Morning Manifestation is going to come out on Monday. And so if you're a subscriber to my money class, no worries, you'll still receive it. We're just changing the name. Slight change, more in alignment with the whole manifestation idea. All right, great to see you guys. I wish you a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to being back with you again next week. And thank you so much for being here, Kayla and Celine. I really appreciate you guys. So blessed with such an amazing team. Okay, guys, we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye for now.